family. I'm Rick Miller, and I was chosen to MC this because I'm the youngest person Elaine knows other than her own children. Really, it's true. It's really true. And so my name is Rick Miller. Rick Miller. Hi, everybody. You know, it is, well, I won't say about getting good health, but nonetheless, I am so delighted to be here, and, oh my goodness, oh, clearly not. Oh, champagne, just the way I like it. 2 parts Metamucil, 2 parts of clear prune juice, and a touch of champagne. Thank you. So I am here, and I'm going to say a few words and thank you on the occasion of her second 35th birthday. Let's give her a round of applause. At her first 35th birthday, which was way back in 1980, you can, staying alive, all of that, Travolta. Elaine's life was quite different from what it is today. She had come from humble beginnings, the only child of Ed and Ida Mae Booterer, growing up on the northern edge of Baltimore, not far from Pimlico Racetrack. And that's why she has this undying love of the ponies. It's true. Dawn had to wean her off betting. She had studied home economics at West Virginia Wesleyan College. But on her first 35th birthday, she was dreaming of becoming an interior designer while working at a local nursery in Columbia and trying to raise 2 young children. Now, was this a nursery where they grew plants or where they raised babies? Wilson's Garden Center. Some of you may remember Wilson's Garden Center. Elaine was the hot babe there, selling those plants. So, today, as we celebrate her second 35th birthday, Elaine has more than fulfilled the dream of interior design. As we well know, and many of you have called upon her, she has her own design business, now for nearly 2 decades. Her children are grown. Where are her grown children? If you would raise your hands. Yay, there's grown children. And the husband of the grown children. Where's the husband? And there's the husband of the grown children. Let's give them a round of applause. Some have flown thousands of miles. Some have driven about 1/4 of a mile. But it's still important that we're here, and we're so glad you're here. She has 2 wonderful grandsons. Grandsons, raise your hands. Look at these handsome men. Yeah. All right. This place, Kittamaqundi community, and take a look around you and look at this beautiful, beautiful garden. Has been her spiritual home for more than 30 years. And most importantly, it's here that she met the one, the only, the stud muffin. The man among men, Donnie Buttercup Benson. It's hard to know what a person is supposed to look like or be at age 7. I mean, consider your parents. When my parents hit 70, they were old. We have changed that paradigm. 70 is the new 50. So, just to keep you informed, I have come up with a list of the top 10 things that they say you should watch out for as you turn 70. So this is especially critical for you, Elaine. Number 10, The only groaning noises you make in bed are because of your bad back and bad knees. Number 9, you realize your gynecologist, this is for women only, I think. My scriptwriter. You realize your gynecologist could be your daughter, and that seems really weird. Number 8, you remember when the @ sign was only used for math problems. Think about it. It will, probably an hour or so. Number 7, people call you at 9 p.m. and ask if they woke you. Number 6, your friends tell you all their secrets because they know you won't remember any of them. And I can see some head bobs. We're all in this together. Number 5, clothes you buy now. Number 4, your spouse says, let's go upstairs and make love. And you say, pick one, I can't do both. This is what happens, I'm telling you folks. I'm decades away, but I understand. Number 3, your children begin to look middle-aged. I said to Florence the other day, I said, our daughter Kim has become such a beautiful young woman. She said, she's 50. How did that happen? Number 2, the gleam in your eyes is from the sun hitting your trifocals. And number 1, the number 1 thing to watch out for as you turn 70. You have moments when you can't remember how old you are. So, we again thank you all for coming to this celebration. We're so glad that we can gather in this beautiful sacred garden for which Elaine has been the visionary, the driving force, the creative director, the taskmaster, the move that plant, water that bush. Let's give Elaine a round of applause for this beautiful, beautiful garden. And it's a place designed for meditation, contemplation, prayer, and parties like this one. And boogieing down, yes. And we'd like to thank everyone who had a hand in planning this party. We had wonderful bartenders. Well, I won't say any more about bartenders. But let's give a round of applause for our band, Oasis Island Sounds from Washington, D.C., and Rick Wilson. So, Elaine wanted her party to be in this special, special place, a place she has envisioned and shepherded from the very beginning. And now, a few words from Elaine, 70-year young or twice time 35 years old, Hot Lips Booterer.
Thank you, everybody. Before I forget, if you haven't noticed, there are floating candles in the pond, thanks to my son-in-law, Dustin. Well, I wrote a speech, so I hope you won't mind if I read it. I'm so happy to have this celebration here because I love this garden, and I know there's a lot of other people who've had a hand in it, who've donated, who've worked really hard, and they feel like it's their garden too, and they love it as well. I'd like to tell you a little bit about this wonderful space. The carriage house was bought 4 decades ago from the Rouse Company that founded Columbia, and James Rouse offered our church this half acre behind it for the price of $1 because he wanted to make sure that it was used with the church. But it has sat here doing nothing. And so 7 years ago, a committee of people called the Visioning Committee asked what they could do with his backyard, and they wondered if they could use the land as a gift that we could share with our neighbors and even everyone in Howard County and even beyond. When I heard of their vision, I said to myself, I hope I can be a part of that. A year later, I attended a workshop titled Gardens and Grace, and I took a class in the Quiet Garden and another class in Labyrinths, and I left with enormous enthusiasm. So I formed a group and named it the Sacred Garden, and this is what I dreamed for the space, that it's a sacred space, a space filled with God's grace, that it's a place that will be used for meditation, worship, and celebrations, and that it's a place that soothes and comforts and heals people, and that it's a place to remind us there is never a moment without God loving us. By 2010, we raised a huge amount of $9,000, and we're so thrilled we created the Memorial Garden, which is over there. And this has become a popular spot for people in the neighborhood who come and they sit on the benches there and they watch the water bubble out of the rock. And so I feel like we're already allowing our neighbors to become a part of our sacred space. That space is also used to bury ashes of people who are members of our community, and we have a plaque there with the names of the people that are buried there. In 2012, one of our members, Barbara Lawson, worked very hard to bring us a request from the Rouse family asking if we would accept a bequest of $75,000 from Libby Rouse's will. Libby Rouse was the first wife of James Rouse, and she and her husband created the city of Columbia. Libby was also one of the co-founders of our church. So we hired David Dowles. David, are you around that you can wave your hand to everybody? Here he is back there waving his orange hat. David is a landscape architect, and he designed this as you see it. And when his contract ended, he stayed as a part of our group as a volunteer. So thank you, David.